Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be diving into Tati Beauty. This is of course Tati Westbrook's very first makeup product. Of course, we all remember last year she came out with her own brand. We all remember, of course, last year she released Halo Beauty. It was the hair, skin, and nails booster along with the kiwi booster and I believe the coffee booster. That's the most recent product in that line, but most recently she hits us with a surprise that she's coming up with makeup too. So this is her very first eyeshadow product and what I believe is going to be a collection of eyeshadows, and she's already given a sneak peek that more exciting things are coming up in 2020, which I'm personally very excited for. But for now, we are going to be diving into this palette right here, which is the Textured Neutrals eyeshadow palette. This is volume 1 in what's going to be her collection of eyeshadow palettes, I'm assuming. I do have to say that I am a fan of Tati Westbrook. I love her videos. I've been watching her for such a long time now. I love that she combines everything in her channel. I feel like she's the queen of reviews. She reviews everything from drugstore to high-end to super high-end products to hair to skincare to masks. And I've always been super trusting in the reviews that she gives in her channel. She's lovely, she's classy, she's elegant, and those are all of the things that I feel like when you think Tati, you think all of these things. You think elegance, class, glamour, and she did not disappoint with this first product that she came out with. I feel like this is very her, this is very timeless, elegant, and of course we're gonna dive into all of that. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys in this video, but before we get started diving into this eyeshadow palette, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel before you leave. I'd love to have you. And without further ado, if you want to see how I came up with this eyeshadow look, then please stay on and keep on watching. Alright guys, so a couple of things before we dive into the makeup look. I did want to say that I ordered this eyeshadow palette the moment that it released. I had my alarm set, I went into her website, and I was there right at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on her website, and I was able to order one. However, there was a wait. She did mention that she had a lot of traffic on her website, which is super exciting. Then as soon as I guess it was my time to order, everything was smooth sailing from there. A couple of hours after I placed my order, however, I did receive an email which it was telling me something about receiving a $1 refund, which was super weird. But then I saw on her Instagram stories she said something that the website was charging $1 more for shipping than it should have. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even realize that it was charging the wrong amount of shipping. I was refunded, so everything was good. No harm, no foul. The palette did arrive to me 5 business days later, right to my doorstep, and this is the box that it came in, and here is the paper packaging that it was wrapped up in. I feel like people with trypophobia should look away right about now, but this is how it was packaged, and on the inside it says, "Beautiful is your story to tell, XO's Tati." Once you take out all of the packaging from the box, this is the palette. This is what she looks like. Again, when you think Tati, or at least when I think Tati, I think just class, elegance, glamour, all of those things, sophistication. So I feel like this palette, the packaging in itself is very her. The one thing that I will say is that the palette kind of like surprised me because it was smaller than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger, kind of like the size of the original Morphe palettes. Kind of like the size of the Jaclyn Hill palette. I thought it was going to be that size, but it's actually smaller, which I don't mind. And then another thing that really took me by surprise is the weight of it. Holy moly, this thing is heavy. Like, it does have a good weight to it. And the feel of the palette, the outside packaging is very soft, very matte. I'm gonna say I'm not a fan of the packaging. I don't like it because I do, and I have, and I've already gotten it super dirty. And when you open it up, these are the eyeshadows that are in there. So I feel like with this palette, you can cover all of your bases with any smoky look that you want to do. If you wanted to do something that's super glamorous but neutral at the same time, something that's gonna be timeless for any sort of event, I feel like this is your perfect palette for that. You can use it every day for work. You can amp up the glamour for a wedding, for a super special event. Even I feel like for celebrities, for red carpets, this is super great for that. So you basically, if you look at the vertical wording on the palette, your rows are gonna be different finishes, and the bottom row all the way at the bottom is going to be your matte row. Then you have a sequin row, metallic, and then of course your glitters all the way to the top. And then across from left to right, you have memory, which are those blacks. You have ritual, story, soothe, aura, and poet. So now we're going to go through the swatches, and of course for swatches we had to do them on the arms just like she does. I wanted to look like her, and if you notice for these swatches I amped up the glam. I wanted to wear a nice little dress, a nice little gold necklace, a lot of jewelry, because of course it's Tati, she's very classy and I wanted to dress up for her, you know. I'm gonna start showing you swatches, and we're starting out at the far left in the memory column, starting with a matte finish, memory in a sequin finish, memory in a metallic finish, and memory in the glitter finish. Then we move over to those dark browns, the ritual column, starting with ritual in a matte finish, ritual in a sequin finish, ritual in a metallic, and ritual in a glitter. And now moving to those oranges, we're starting with Story Matte, Story Sequin, Story Metallic, and Story Glitter. And now moving to those soft brown shades, and those are honestly the perfect transition shade to start out any look that you want to do with your palette. I feel like that rose the perfect beginning to any look. And we're gonna start swatching Soothe in a matte finish, Soothe in a sequin finish, Soothe Metallic, and Soothe Glitter. And now for the Aura column, we're gonna go into Aura Matte. Next, we're going to go to Aura in a sequin finish, Aura in a metallic, and Aura in a glitter finish. And finally, to my favorite column, this is the Poet column, and we're going to start swatching Poet in a matte finish, Poet Sequin, which has a beautiful shift of like blue and purple little like pearls in there, glitters. She said in her video that it's a really unique formula, and I can totally see why. It's just absolutely beautiful. I've never seen a shadow like that. Next we have Poet in Metallic and Poet in Glitter. And those are all of the shades in this palette, and this is a close-up of what they look like. And now we're gonna get started in this eyeshadow look. And of course, I'm using my face moisturizer just to prep the skin. Next, I am going in with the Wonder Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil just to add a little bit more glow to the skin. And then after that, I went in with a Touch in Soul No Poreblem Primer, just to smooth out those pores. Now for foundation, of course, as you know, this is kind of like my favorite foundation combo ever. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation combined with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. After foundation, I went in with the Tarte Shape Tape. Then I went in with powder. I am using the Coty Airspun. And then for bronzer, I am using the NYX Cosmetics Contour and Highlight Pro palette. I am going all the way in with this look, making it as glam as possible. Contouring the nose. Baking the nose and the sides of my cheeks. And then going into the brows, I am using my NYX Cosmetics Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso. Wiping off the bake. adding some highlight to this look. Some blush. And now we're gonna start diving into the look, and the very first shade that I'm going in with is Aura in that matte finish. And like I mentioned in the beginning, this is the perfect shade to start out with, just to clear out that lid, and it's gonna give you a nice clean canvas to start out any look. And you can see the difference in how it just wiped out my lid, and you can see the difference from one lid to the other. Next, I'm going in with the shade Soothe in that matte finish. And I'm going in with a fluffy brush and just adding it into the inner portion of my eye and then to the outer V of the eye. And this is going to start creating that spotlight look to the eye. I really wanted to try out a spotlight eye look for this. I don't know. I don't know why this palette just screamed this kind of a look, and I wanted to try it out. So this is my first time giving it a shot, and I absolutely loved it. I love the way that it came out. So you just want to go in and make sure everything's nice and smoothed out. And then after that, I thought I wanted to go in with Soothe in the metallic finish with a brush on the very center of the eye. I went in with a brush. It wasn't giving me the payout that I was hoping for. Then I went in with my fingers. It was a little bit better, but I still wanted a bigger punch. So I kind of like scratched that plan and continued deepening things out on the inner and outer portions of the eye because I figured I wanted something more dramatic. So I went in with a small packer brush and I went on the inner portion of the eye and outer portion of the eye just to deepen things out a little bit more, and I am using the shade Ritual in the matte finish. Putting it in place on that inner corner and then switching brushes just to smooth everything out. Same thing on the outer V of the eye. And now I'm repeating the same process on the lower lash line, just taking a fluffy brush and brushing the shade Soothe all over that lower lash line. And then we're switching to a pencil brush for those deeper colors. I'm going in with the dark brown Ritual and the matte finish and just deepening things out on the inner corner of the eye and then on the outer portion of that lower lash line, just mimicking what you're doing on top to the bottom. And finally, to go all the way in deep, we're taking that black matte shade, Memory in the matte finish, and just finishing it off, adding a little bit at a time. This is one of those shades where a little bit, just a little bit goes a long way, and she did say that in her reveal video. It does go a long way, so be super careful with black because you can go overboard super easily. And just add that on the inner portion of the eye, outer portion of the eye, then switch to a fluffy brush, and just the more you blend, the better it's gonna look. And now for the very center of that spotlight, we're gonna take Memory in that glitter finish and just swipe it all over the lid using our fingers and then just packing it on just doing patting motions to the very top all the way until you touch your brows. And then once you get closer to those brows on the brow bone, you just kind of like diffuse it a little bit, make sure the glitters are kind of like spread out so it kind of like looks like it's exploding close to your brows. And then using a pencil brush, you're going to add that to the very center of the lower lash line. And then right here, I'm just cleaning out underneath my eyes where any glitters might have fallen out. These glitters do not have a lot of fallout, just a little bit, but it wasn't like I had glitter falling all over my cheeks. And then we're gonna take that brush and just kind of like retouch that black and brown on the inner and outer portions of the eyes. Now for the inner corners, I am using the shade Aura in the metallic finish, just packing that color on that inner corner. And that color did take a little bit of just like packing on for it to really be super blinding. I did notice that. Next, we're gonna go with a black eyeliner on that waterline. I went in with liquid eyeliner on my top lash line. Some mascara. I am using the Tarte Big Ego Mascara, which yes, it's Tati approved. And now I'm using my Velour lashes in the style CEO, which are my most beautiful and absolute favorite lashes at the moment. I love how dramatic they are, and I needed the drama for this look. And with lashes in place, I went ahead and did the other eye as well, and we're just gonna speed through the process. And now once the eyes are done, we're gonna move on to the lips. And for the lips, of course, we're gonna go on with another Tati recommendation. This guy is from Flower Beauty, which I saw her rave about. I wanted to give it a shot. I tried, I loved, I'm obsessed. So this is the Flower Beauty lipsticks, and this is in the shade Cinnamon Crush. I was gonna say Cinnamon Crunch. It's Cinnamon Crush. So with the lips in place, this is the final look, you guys. This is the look that I was able to come up with, at least the first look that I did with the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love this palette. The mattes, I love that she was talking about how much effort she put into the mattes. I feel like that's one of the things that I maybe like overlook, but once you experience like nice mattes, I feel like it's super easy to do your makeup because it's kind of like the shadow doing the work for you. You don't have to spend too much time to blend it out for it to look good. And essentially I feel like this palette is for people who don't have a lot of one time or two experience, because you don't need a lot of skill to be able to use this palette. I do see how you can take your fingers even and take that matte shade, that Soothe, that light brown, and just pack it on the outer V, and then take one of those light metallics, pat it all over the lid, and you'll be good to go. And yeah, this was the look that I was able to come up with this palette. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you have any questions as far as the palette goes. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for spending some of your time right here on my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care, and hopefully I will see you right here on my next video. Bye guys.